Hi, I'm Carrie McNally, and I just wanted to come to you today to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we talk about throughout the week on coaching our agents. And I am joined today with Erin Kaminski, my top coach here. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
So we're actually just going to do some new videos about recapping like our main questions, right? So to tell you a little bit about how we divide our activities or our priorities, Erin works mainly with our brand new agents coming on board, right? Our onboarding of the agents, as well as like kind of our intermediary agents. And you're always there for the top agents as well, like pretty much everybody, just the quick questions, but you physically coach, right?
Right.
And then I do the mid-levels and the high-end level agents, coaching them to help them become stronger in who they are. So talk to me about some of the voices that you heard this week. What were some of the struggles that the agents were going through?
So two really come to mind when I think about this week, and I'll start with the one that's probably one of the biggest challenges that brand new agents have coming in.
Love that.
And it's actually someone who's less of a brand new agent, but more of an agent who's really focusing now on trying to get into the business, having had his license for a while and just not really becoming active. Came and sat with me, and one of his biggest challenges was, where do I start? Where do I start? What activities should I be doing? I know I should be doing something, but what? So
I feel like that's such a voice for all of them. Like,
of course,
restarting your business, or even like just I've been doing this, but I need like a kickstart. It's like getting stale, right?
Yeah.
So what did you guys go over?
So we talked about one of the examples that I use a lot when I'm working with, especially agents that have come from the role of employee, because as an employee, you're given a set of tasks that you have to get done. You have someone that you have to be held accountable to. And one of the things that we talked about was being able to kind of take one hat on as the employer or the business owner and put that on to create your goals, and then to be able to take that off and put on the hat of the worker bee or the employee. And it's the same person, but having two sets of tasks.
And that is probably one of the, I want to say, great and bad things about real estate is that we want to be our own boss, but then we get here and we have no idea what we're doing and nobody to tell us.
Yep.
And so we don't anticipate that part of real estate and like being that controlled CEO.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. I mean,
No, please. This is what we're here for.
when he sat down, I felt that kind of feeling of almost defeat before even starting. And then when we got into the conversation and we really started talking about that scenario and creating his goals and then creating the tasks and activities that have to be accomplished in order to attain those goals, I felt his shoulders kind of get a little bit taller, and I felt him feel like he had a direction, which was really satisfying.
It's so fun to watch their movement from the beginning, and then when they start getting excited about the projects that they're going to be doing, that's is really
that's
cool.
why I like doing
Of course,
the reason for me sitting here and me doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
Of course. So, okay, and so you said there was a second kind of.
The second one was the one that I think is probably the biggest concern that I hear from all agents at all levels is, how do I get organized and how do I stay organized? And in that conversation, it was a lot about time management, time blocking, and again, setting goals, setting tasks. You know, it's one of those things. It's all. I have a friend who always said, this business is not easy. It's not rocket science. So it's doable. It's absolutely doable, but you have to be organized, you know?
I think that I've been watching so many of our agents in the growth of what they're doing. And when they come in an inconsistent basis, whether it's once a week or every other week that they're consistently coaching, it just helps them stay organized and consistent. And to
Accountability.
watch the growth of their business when they're really
Focused.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I think it goes back to the accountability thing where they have to be accountable to themselves, obviously, but being able to assist them in that accountability because they have someone to come and kind of bounce things off of. And just the idea that you have an appointment every week or every 2 weeks or whatever it is to talk about your business, you're going to be working more purposefully in your business in order to do that.
So, and it really goes back, right? So when we're in a job, quote unquote, Monday through Friday, whatever, our job, our boss, our superior there gives us a set rule tasks and we just do what we're supposed to do in that job, right? But we don't think of that as a business plan.
Right.
But ultimately it is.
Well, it's their business
It's
plan.
their business plan for us to be executive on the job that they've given us, right? But we don't see it that way when we're looking at it. So as the CEO of your company, you have to give yourself as the worker person, right? Like it's the two hats.
Yep.
You have to give yourself as the worker, what is it that I am supposed to be doing every day? And I think that one of the things humanly that we have is that when things are coming at us, when people are asking us to do something, like go show houses, set up appointments, go to the home inspection, those are easy because somebody else is asking us to do it. It's part of the process of the deal. But the prospecting and doing mailings and maybe making phone calls or putting together a video or doing all of those things, if we don't purposefully have them as a written plan and as part of our time management, they don't get done because it's not coming at us. It's the proactive. That's the hard thing to do.
Well, it's hard, again, because we are so inherently in this society, we are like worker bees. And I use that as an example because we're so used to working for someone that when you're not working, I shouldn't say you're not working for someone, when you're working for yourself, it's a different mindset. And it's a really difficult transition for people to get that mindset.
I kind of in my brain, I'm thinking about this whole idea too. I think that is where, let's say a top agent who wants to build a team, good teams will run really strong if that leader of the team, that team manager or what have you, that team leader, if they actually have really clear set goals for all of their buyer agents and workers, not just, hey, help me go show houses, but if they have a timeline on what they should be doing and really good, like where they're meeting once a week and giving out those. So I feel like that advice can go, it works as you start building and then it works as you continue to keep.
As you grow, definitely. And I think that structure is so important for that reason. Because if you don't have that structure, it's harder to have accountability if the tasks aren't aligned in advance.
Yeah. I'm making a note for myself or something. So one of the things that you'll see me constantly have is some sort of journal. I give them out to all of our agents here at Goldstone when you first come with us, and I'm constantly giving new ones, especially in our coaching sessions. You and I are really big on journal. I mean, I have drawers. It's kind of funny, but from years and years and years of journaling, it's really important for me to make sure that this is how I kind of go back all my notes through the week. I go back and I recap, okay, what is it? What's my priorities? What do I need to look at? What's the strength of moving forward? Because if you're not writing it down, it doesn't lock it in.
And what are the challenges that have come up? That's a big thing for me. What challenges have come up either in what I'm doing in my day or what the agents are coming to me with challenges, because then that gives you an opportunity to get ahead of it for the next set of challenges that are going to come up. If you can acknowledge and recognize what issues already exist, you can kind of plan for how to fix those and move ahead more efficiently.
Yeah. Definitely. So I want to go with one of the kind of outlining questions or part of the coaching that I've been seeing, and one of the pieces that I see a lot of top agents here is that they'll start building their business through lead sources, and then they talk about moving it from the lead source, and we look at what our percentages of that, and then moving it into the circle of influence. Or it's vice versa. So having multiple streams of leads coming in from multiple streams of business, right? So maybe it's mailings, maybe it's you're paying for leads to come from different places, or circle of influence, door knocking, open houses. There's a million different ways. Yeah.
From past
from
clients.
people.
Yeah.
But one of the very important piece, and one that I think that we build here very well at Goldstone with, is that circle of influence. And I think people think that they are asking for the referrals, and yet we just believe that because we're on Facebook and we're like, oh, I just sold this, or I just closed on that, or that they're being proactive to ask their people that they know for business. That's going to be like a one-off. That's going to be somebody who knows who you are, has talked to you about real estate, and that person has to be proactive enough to reach out to you. It's really important that you, on a consistent basis, be reaching out to that circle of influence monthly, and not through social media. It has to be directive and personalized. So are you sending out mailings? Are you doing emails? Are you sending out a text? So when we're talking about circle of influence and building that structure of the business, it's really important that that's really clear and that those things are implemented. And one of the things that I find is the agents that are very consistent on a monthly proactive position, reaching out to clients, asking for their referrals, are the ones that actually
Are getting them.
Absolutely. They'll have 60 to 80% of their business coming from their circle of influence. And the ones that do it happenstance, here, there, maybe they sent out a text 4 months ago, whatever. Those are the ones that they'll get referrals, but it's not going to be on a consistent basis. Right. Yeah.
I think the biggest word in this business to me is consistency. Yeah. The word that equates most directly with success in this business is consistency.
1,000%. Absolutely. Yeah. I can feel when my business falls off and I know it's because I wasn't consistent in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And I can be like, okay, I got to get back on. I got to make my plans. I got to get myself back on track.
Yeah, and it's human nature to do that. So it's a matter of acknowledging it and recognizing it first, and then acknowledging it, and then having a plan on how you're going to overcome it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so you said you had a second.
That was it. So the organization was the second one. So we talked a lot about knowing what tasks had to be done. This agent is newer to the business, but pretty busy in the business that I had this conversation with. And I think his biggest challenge is, I got a lot going on. There's a lot of different people I'm talking to, and I'm trying to figure out how to be organized.
Yeah, I think that my advice to that person is, we're going to bite-size this little by little, right? And you got to just, for the next 2 months, I want you in coaching with me once a week so that we can take it from here to build it. And it's about putting together, okay, what is the first thing you're struggling on? Because usually it's staying organized, and because they're worried about not forgetting something inside the deal, and then building the priorities.
It also, in addition to that, it was a time management kind of
of their lives.
Yes.
Of
yeah,
course.
Yeah. So I think that was a bigger, like time blocking, figuring out when is a good time, and actually being able to analyze the times of day that were more productive for which tasks.
Yeah. I love that we brought this up because this is really super important. So because we are independent contractors, we own our own business, and we get into the business because it's amazing and we can work when it's
Yeah, it's
flexible,
flexible.
right? But we forget that this is a job. And if we want to make the money that we would make in a 40-hour work week, 60-hour work week, whatever, right? We want to make $100,000, we want to make $200,000 a year. You have to work the hours
Right.
to make that kind of money.
The
You
good
can't
thing-
work 4 hours a week and think
Right.
that I'm so busy. Okay, well then you're going to make part-time money or like no money.
The good thing about the business is it is flexible. It is flexible. Those hours can be put in at whatever time works best
Yeah.
for you, but they have to be put in.
I put my kids on the bus every day. I got my kids off the bus every day. Every day. I was at every game.
Yeah.
I was always there. Every play practice, whatever it was, right? So it is absolutely flexible. But when it's time to work, you can't be, I'm going to work from home. I'm doing laundry.
Right.
I'm cooking. I'm preparing this. No, you're at home. If you're working, you got to be working. Yeah, super important to separate that, and that's the time blocking. You and I are always talking about
Time
time
blocking
blocking.
is huge.
So one of the other things that I love this about working with the top agents is actually driving into the marketing strategies, right? So we always have different types of houses or different types of projects that we're working on, whether it's a commercial project or a residential project. And some require stronger marketing strategy. If we're doing the one-offs and they're the same kind of cookie cutter house,
Right.
single family,
Sending out
smaller, blah, blah,
postcards.
blah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
we got that.
Yeah.
But when it's actually like maybe a little bit more of a luxury property or something that we can pull on for a specific marketing, I love diving into those individual, like, oh, we've got a really great plan. When you go on this listing presentation, this is how we're going to change it up.
Yeah. And our agents that we have been working with have been really great about going outside the box with those kind of things. They're doing videos, they're doing pamphlets, and just really, really different types of collateral and content that you don't really see out there as much. And I love that.
I definitely. And also, like, where are these buyers coming from? How do I find the buyers for this specific house? Like, and a lot too is right now the houses are sitting a little bit more on market. I literally was just having a conversation with a brand X agent yesterday, and he had a project that was sitting, he's feeling like things are sitting on market a little bit more.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
we went through and talked about a couple of different strategies, and, so we're sitting a little bit more. So then it takes a different set of a different set of tests that we need to do for that, right? Something that sits on the market for 1 to 2 weeks, we already have a process. But now it's on the market for 4, 6, maybe 8 weeks. There's different types of marketing that have to happen.
It's going to go back to a different, really a mindset around it, because business has been so fast-paced and so kind of saturated with business, with closings, with buyers, offers, multiple offers.
It's all quick.
Yeah,
quick.
it's just been moving and moving and moving, and now it's going to be, sellers are going to be asking, what are you doing? Why is this property sitting so long? So those
And you need to
strategies-
change it
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I always did, because, going through the recession, we are not, don't take that out of context. But when I did go through that, I had properties that would sit on the market anywhere from 6, 9, sometimes a year.
Yeah,
it was a little hard. And one of the things Monday was my marketing day. Monday was the day that I was like, okay, here's all my inventory. I have all of this. What am I doing this week for this house? What am I doing this week for that house? How are we switching it up? what kind of posts am I doing? What kind of maybe video am I doing? Maybe it needs to be selling the lifestyle, not just the house. Maybe it needs to be going outside of the area. So collaboration, if you are struggling with those kinds of things, collaboration with someone else to see something that you're not is really important. That's why I love working with the agents with that.
And networking is important for that reason. I think that's something that, I think not enough agents are doing that. Everybody's just got their head down and they're kind of trying to just dig into their business, and they're not looking outside of their particular business and looking for other people to kind of do that.
I think that ultimately is a very human thing for us, because we're so busy and we have so many things. It's like a hum that happens, right?
And it's like safe.
And especially in today's world, because we're so connected with so much technology, it's hard to kind of like look up and see from above. There's a movie that I absolutely love, and with Robin Williams, unbelievable actor. He was always somebody that just always made me laugh, and then he did so many serious roles as well. Just an extraordinary legacy that he left us. But there's the movie Dead Poets Society.
I knew you were going to say. I knew exactly.
I know, because I've said this to you so many times, and it's something that I see to be so true. So there's a moment in that movie where the kids are sitting in the classroom, and he tells them, I want you to see it from my view of what you're looking at. And it's like rising above. And I think that when we're in those struggles, when we're looking at like, we're sitting there with someone or a property that's not selling, you've got to like rise above, stop being inside of it, and take a deep breath, look at it from a different angle, have somebody else help you look at it from a different angle, because sometimes it's that's going to help you. Like, I didn't think to do that.
Right. It's perspective.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
Yeah. All right, great. I think we got some good stuff this week. And if you guys actually have any questions that you want to put into the chat, we would love to review questions with you. We'll definitely, be monitoring that to help all of you out there. So I look forward to hearing from everyone. Yay. Goodbye.